Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Zion the Man channel. So today I'm going to be talking about, how not to drop out of high school. And I got Marquez and Henry Pickett on this video as well. And so I'm just explaining to you, giving you a preview about, what we talked about, never giving up, try not to drop out of high school, try to get this education in and all this other stuff. And, it can be challenging sometimes at school, but it's best to push on through. So I'm gonna let y'all hear this video. Hope y'all enjoy it. And yes, sir, let's get this thing started. Yeah, boy. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Zion the Man channel with your host, Mr. Zion Cromartie. Now today I'm gonna come back with some new content. I'm gonna come back with a video. Today I'm gonna talk about, how not to be a high school dropout. But I also have two special guests on here. I have Henry Pickett on here. He has been on here before. Henry Pickett, say hello, man.
What's going on, YouTube?
And I got Marquez Derrick on here. He has been on here also. Say what up, Marquez.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Not much. So yeah, they'll be joining me on this video today about how not to be a high school dropout. Now, I'm all about sending motivation out to people. I'm all about, giving advice. I'm all about helping the people out in the community and all around the world, because that's what I like to do. And this is the topic today. What I want to talk about how not to be a high school dropout, man. So let's just cut down to the chase, Sally. All right, man. So me, I'm in 11th grade. I have been in school for, I forgot how many years. Let's see, kindergarten to 9. I guess 11 years. I think I'm right. I don't know. Who cares? But been in school for 11 years. Now, you got to first go through elementary school, then you got your middle school, then you got your high school. You got to take 4 years of this course of high school. And you got work that can be a bit challenging to us. We got all these upcoming tests and these upcoming assessments, these upcoming, for example, ACTs and standardized tests, these progress monitorings, man. We got all that in the high school years. And that can be a little challenging, man. And especially when you hit your senior year, you got a whole ton of work to do. You got to meet your requirements to graduate. You got to reach all your credits. You got to meet the standards if you want to graduate. Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen?
That's right.
That's
right.
You gotta reach the standards for you to graduate. Which I'm graduating. I'm not planning on dropping out. I'll graduate. Don't matter how hard it get around here. Don't matter how hard the work gets. How hard everything gets. If I'm all about sending motivation out to y'all, I'm motivating myself to do better in school. I'm motivating y'all to be better in school as well. Isn't that right?
That's right.
So, yeah. So, how not to be a high school dropout. Number one, well, I'm gonna give you some habits. First of all, some little techniques that can help you out through high school. Number one, always study. You gotta always study so you can, ace these tests instead of failing them. You got to study for these upcoming tests, these assessments, these progress monitorings, these all kind of stuff. You have to study for that stuff. Marquez, you do a lot of studying?
I try to, yeah.
Yeah, I try to. That's a good habit. Henry, I know you graduated, but you did a lot of studying? I don't know what happened with him. Marquez, you think he's still on there?
Yeah, he's here.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah, I say you did a lot of studying. I know you graduated, but
I did. Some days I didn't, but I did.
When you study, don't you think like that'll make you better?
It always does. It improves on the weak spots.
Yeah,
I think.
What you think about that, Marquez?
I think so too. It helps you like grasp the concepts, and it makes them easier once you continue to study them. The concepts will continue to get easier and easier, and then you'll be able to hopefully master it.
Yeah. You might have some subjects in the 4 courses of high school you ain't gonna like. You're not gonna like these subjects such as, math, man. You gotta take this algebra 1, geometry. Ooh, I hate geometry. And then you got algebra 2, then done with all that, you can take math for what they call that? Um
You could take
math
math for
college
college readiness or
readiness,
pre-calculus.
pre-calculus, something like that. Or you could it's just not math you probably won't like. People like math and some people don't. People like English and some people don't. People like science and some people don't. I like history. Some people might like some world history, US history, economics. Some people might not like that. But it's always best to, try your hardest and do your best at those subjects. Because everybody's different at at uh at things. Everybody's different at subjects. Uh, Marquez, what was your favorite subject in high school?
English, and it's still my favorite.
Oh, that's a bit of a shocker right there.
English, it's always will be my favorite.
Henry, what was your favorite subject?
My favorite subject was probably reading because it was easy to grasp, and I did very well in math, and I like to read different type of genres of books. Feel like it could be a way to escape the real world and listen to someone else's adventure. Something to take notes for. You know.
Yeah, my favorite study, my favorite subject is science. The reason I really like science. I mean, it's pretty easy, man. Right now I'm in anatomy and physiology. I kind of like that. Um, yeah, everybody's different at subjects, man. Somebody might be better at you than math. Somebody might be better than you at English. Somebody might be better than you at history, all this other stuff, man. But you're gonna need those subjects, those 4 core classes. That's math, science, social studies, known as history, and English. You're gonna need those are the ones that will count in your high school years. Then you got these electives, what you might have down, like such as keyboarding or theater or what's the other electives? You might have weight training. Those just electives. Uh, those are not core classes. You might have music classes, performing arts. I mean, that kind of count in high school, but it's not your 4 core classes you have to get credits for. Isn't that right?
Yep.
I would say some of these classes that we take electives, some of them are needed. So like in our school, you are required to have like a performing arts credit
Yeah,
or a technology credit.
yeah.
So some of these are not all, but some
Not,
are required to do. So that's why you're put in a music class maybe your freshman year because you're required to have that um performing arts credit.
Even
but if
for even for like 2D or 3D dimensional art, like a physical art class. That's what I took also. And then you have electives like on the job training, which is
Yeah.
not a requirement.
but it's
It's more of a
it's
shorter scope for the deaf and blind requirement. They want you to try to get that so you can have
yeah,
some work experience
Yeah.
or training.
yeah. I mean, so like my freshman year, I ain't have a performance arts classes, but I had put it down on my elective for, my sophomore year, and now I'm in my junior year, and I still got the performing arts thing. I'm in band and keyboard for a second year now. Yeah, it's best to have those credits. Now, as you say, some of those credits you don't need, but some you might need, such as digital info tech, FSDB thing. With you might take your ninth grade year, or you might take it your 10th grade year. You're gonna need that in order to graduate. That's needed, so so you can know how to work on computers and other technologies, all this stuff. Because us, the vision impaired and blind, we're gonna need all that stuff to succeed in life in the real world. We're gonna need that. So that's why it's best. That's why they put you in those classes. These other classes you can choose to get put in. But yeah, man, you gonna but the most you're gonna need is those core classes along with those technologies and performing arts. You're gonna need those core classes to graduate. You got to take what it is: 3 years of math, uh, 3 years of science. How many years of history you got to take again? 4.
3.
It depends. It's
Yeah,
usually
it depends.
3 to 4, I say. And then what's the next one? English.
4 years of English.
4 years of English in order to graduate high school. Now, just say for example though, man, you got this big assessment coming up, man. They telling you to study. You got 6 weeks to study for this exam. For example, English. This too much work on me, man. I got to do all this studying. I got to do all this and all that. It's too hard for me, man. I can't handle it, man. Might as well drop on out of high school or something like that. You might be thinking about that, but that's not always the right option to go. Because if you drop out of high school, but you said you want to be a what you call it, a counselor, a nurse, a doctor, something. You're gonna need those 4 years in order to succeed your goal. Isn't that right?
That's right.
along with it, where you
Yeah,
are you want able to go to college as well because you don't have your diploma. And most jobs, even if you were to get a regular day-to-day job like working at an office somewhere like the postal service, they're gonna see like what are you required or do you have anything to prove who you are, and you don't have a diploma, they're not gonna. It's a less chance of you getting hired because that means
you're not gonna be able to
you
get the
don't know
job
nothing.
you really want to get.
The diploma is the stepping stone to you trying to go to the next chapter of your life. If you don't have it, then it's harder for you to make your moves out here. It's gonna be
and harder for you to get jobs, man. If you want to work in a restaurant, you're gonna have that diploma. You're gonna have to learn. You're gonna need to know how to cook and know how to be a cashier, know how to be all this other stuff. You're gonna have to learn to be that. If you want to be a chef, you're gonna have to learn to be that. You're gonna need a diploma for that. And then also, if you want to get into these big old universities or these colleges, you know, you're gonna need the colleges you want to go to. Gonna see what you did in your high school years. They seen you a high school dropout, where they're gonna be like, well, he ain't fit for the job to be in this university. He ain't fit for this. He or she are not fit for this. So you can't go to college. Got to find another thing, man. But the best option is without diploma, man. You can go to a trade school and do something like that. Go to a trade school, isn't that right? You can go to a trade school, can't you?
Yep. That's another form of college if you don't exactly want to go to a 4-year university or 2-year university.
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, like you got this big exam, times get tough and times get rough and all this stuff. You got all this other stuff going on in life, man. It all pile up on top of each other, but guess what? It's best to work through it. And you got the Lord up there. He'll help y'all through it too. He'll hold your hand all the way. He'll hold your hand all the way there. Won't he do it?
Yep. Amen.
Hey man, I know he'll do it. You might not think there is a God up there, but there is. He's the one who helped you get through all these tough times and all these rough times, especially in school. I want to be a high school dropout. I'm gonna just go be doing this, doing that. But you're saying, oh well, I want to be a I want to be a what you call it? Screw it. You want to be some big out here? You gotta first go through high school. You want to be some big. You want to be making movies. You want to be doing all this, man. Don't think about being no high school dropout. You do that, you ain't gonna be. You're not gonna be big as you want to get in life. You ain't gonna. You'll be doing other stuff, man. And so that's why it's best for us to stay in there. But that's your choice. You choose what you want to do. I'm just telling you not to choose it. Just telling you to make the right decisions. We all make mistakes in life. I made plenty, but we all bounce back from that. We all learn from that. It's a live and learn situation. That's what I'm getting at. You learn your lesson. Um, so you know, you drop out, you're not gonna learn anything. So that's why it's best to complete your course and then go on to do what you got to do. Because out that and without the motivation people give to you, without the advice people give to you, just won't have all that on your side, and then you'll just be, I guess, down on your luck. So best not to drop out of high school. We need school for a reason, for education purposes. With no school, we ain't gonna learn nothing. We can't learn how to count money. We don't. We can't learn what happened in the world way back in the past. That's the reason why we got history classes. Heck, and science. If you want to be a scientist, you're gonna definitely have to go through science. Without that, you ain't gonna know what's happening within the human body and all that other stuff, man. So, and you got to have English too to succeed too. Without that English, I know grammar is a big part. Now, I know I don't use too much of that grammar on here, but they want you to use grammar. They want you to learn how to read and write, learn how to do essays. That's the reason why we do essays in school, because you need to learn how to write those too. Write an argumentative essay, informative essay. That's the reason why we do that in high school. This just isn't no playground, man. So best to get through high school. What y'all thoughts on that is?
I agree 100%. I feel like it's good to have those multiple subjects to strengthen, because not every job, career, or whatever that you want to pursue is going to be directly in one subject. Scientist is not gonna just be it's not just gonna be 100% science. There's gonna be some reading, you gotta read. There's gonna be some math, you gotta, they always say math and science go hand in hand. There's always gonna be some measurements you gotta do. If you wanna do all that, if you want to study medicine, if you want to make medicines, there's going to be measurements of different chemicals or whatever. I don't know the process of making medicine, but there's going to be different measurements that you got to do. You got to read the right label. You got to read the right numbers to make sure you're measuring the right amount. So I feel like it's good to have multiple subjects. And like you said, with the history, if you want to go work in the White House or you want to go work for Congress or something, it's good to know your facts about history, because how are you going to work for them and not know anything about what happened before, what happened, why did the world get to where they are now, or why are we going to be the way we are in 20 years?
Yeah. Yeah, that's some great feedback. Henry, what your thoughts on this is? Probably got to give him a little second.
Well, I think, like, to Marquez's point, like, I think like reading and grammar and everything, that's all important, because you can't, work at a job and you're speaking like how your friends speak in your neighborhood, that leaves a bad impression on you and your coworkers. So that's why I feel like school teaches you how to rephrase things in a proper way. And
Right.
people feel like they shouldn't have to, because they're still speaking the same language, but they're just not saying it properly. And I feel like people should ask for help if they feel like maybe they want to do better in their vocabulary, then they should ask for tutoring. But at the same time, the student needs to take accountability for that, and they should speak up for what they need instead of taking the easy way out, which is to drop out, because they think that it's not going to affect them, but in the long run, it would, and that's how they have less access to jobs because they're going to look at you different because you don't have the requirements. And if you don't have the requirements, you're not gonna be able to do nothing. So.
Yeah. And the math thing, man, you're gonna need this math because you want to learn how to count money. If you want to be a cashier at one of these restaurants or at these stores, at these grocery stores, anyway, you're gonna have to learn how to count money because money is a big thing, man, and you don't want nobody messing you up, giving you the I guess a rip off or something. You don't want that to happen. So that's why we got to learn how to count this money, and not just math is very important too. Add, subtract, and multiply and divide, and you're gonna need all that. All that's gonna go a long way in life. It's gonna go a long way. You want to see how much money you got in the bank account? Well, you're gonna have to estimate all that stuff up. You're gonna have to look at it, see how many you put in your savings and all this other stuff. Yeah, I think math. Even though we might hate math, but math is a good thing to have. Good thing to have on your side. So that's why you're going to need it in life. Without math, you don't know how to operate without the math. So that's why they teaching you math. That's why they teaching you history. Why they teaching you English, how to read and write, how to speak, how to spell.
I feel like it's the same thing, not only with academics, but school in general, especially in your high school years. They're teaching you how to properly socialize, communicate, and figure out how to problem solve without getting frustrated. That's basic stuff because say you're in a job, your boss tells you to do something, you can't just yell at them. Well, there you go. You'll be getting talked to and you possibly might get fired because you can't that's not how they solve situations.
Yeah. And but you know what I've seen with a lot of people, they come to terms with their high school years. They come in there, they are big and bad, like to get in all these fights and all this. They don't care about their schoolwork and all this, like they getting their fights and all, hanging out with their friends, partying all night. Next thing you know, all this schoolwork catches up with them. They got this big test coming up. They got all this other stuff coming up. I heard people they don't even make it to they don't even make it to their senior year. They might drop out their freshman year, sophomore year, or junior year, and they near the end of the road. They don't even make it to their senior year. Why? Because they want to be getting in all this trouble and be doing all this partying, and possibly they know they're about to get suspended or expelled. They're just gonna drop out. I mean, that's not a good option. That's a bad look on you. That's a bad look on you. That will reflect who you are in terms of your character. You doing all this in school, but look out here in the real world. You won't be doing all this. Can't even get a job now. They'll look at your records and see, oh well, this so and so, he was a fighter back in school, get suspended, kicked out of classrooms, kicked out of school. He want to drop out and all this. I mean, come on. That's a bad look on you. That's a bad impression. So if you try to ever apply for a job, it don't matter what kind of job. It don't matter if you want to work at McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, heck, Chick-fil-A. You're going to have to go through all these training courses. But without that school, man, you'll just be lost on your way trying to reach what you're trying to get. So that's why I say, man, stay in school. Let's get that education. Or let's get that education, because that plays a big role in life. So we're gonna need that. you might think about dropping out. You know, you got to think about the people around you, and that affects you, but it just won't affect you, but it affects your family because they probably didn't raise you to be like that. But that is your choice. You choose to drop out. That's you. Now, my parents ain't gonna let me drop out even if I wanted to. They're not gonna let me drop out, and I ain't planning on dropping out. Marquez, you think your parents will be cool with you dropping out?
Nope, especially where I am now. I am a senior, guys. I am at my last year. So they're like, nope, you've come way too far. If you want to drop out, you should have told us freshman or sophomore year you were way too far down the road to drop out.
I'm a junior. I'm not thinking about dropping out. Henry, I mean, you graduated now. You're a post grad. Do you ever thought about dropping out? Think your parents would have been cool with you dropping out?
Probably not, because they would
Yeah.
be, not only would they be mad, but they'd be like confused why, because it's not like at our school we don't have all the resources. In some cases, in certain schools, they don't have the resources, and then if you're vision impaired, you probably feel bad for yourself because you got to work twice as hard compared to the other kids, and you feel like overworking yourself. Tutor don't want to show up because she got to go to other schools and teach other blind folks. They would be disappointed. I would say just don't do that, because everybody's here for something, and for you to easily take the easy way out is that it's no good. It's no good.
And it'll do you no good. See, I'm a junior and I'm visually impaired, so I'm gonna stay in school. If I want to drop out, they won't even let me because
My parents will probably figure out, they'd be like, why didn't you, whatever you were struggling with, why didn't you ask? Why didn't you, say what was on your mind? And that's another thing. Kids are afraid to do that because they're afraid they're going to get shut down. But at the end of the day, if it's something that can probably help you without you saying it, without being disrespectful to the teachers, they might be able to help you in some way.
right.
But in other cases in public school, there's like 1,000 other kids. You crying about your work when you're not even trying, they're not gonna try with you either. You got to
Right.
play your part and put all that effort in. The same
Like
way
that.
like those sports, you want to be a team leader, you gotta do that for your own self, not to compete with every other kid, but to prove to yourself how you can be as good as you want to be.
Right. Yeah. They ain't. They would not let me drop out. I got to learn how to get around things in life. Yeah, especially if you vision impaired to blind, you're gonna definitely have to need school to learn how to get around ways in life. Gonna have to learn how to navigate. Gonna have to learn how to use this technology if you want to be a computer science. If you want to be a technologist, man, you're gonna have to learn how to do all this. Like that school, man, you blind to visually impaired, not just uh, it's not gonna go too well for you. You're not gonna know how to navigate in life. But it doesn't matter disability, enough disability. Without a disability, you got people still who think about dropping out. But just because you're not blind or visually impaired, guess what? You're still not going to navigate how to get ways in life. So then people go turning to violence and doing all this other stuff, selling these drugs, getting locked up in jail, going to prison, doing all this other stuff. Why? Because school wasn't a good option for them. So they want to be a little dropout, and then they want to go do their little activities that could potentially get them nowhere but up in jail or prison to probably get them hurt or killed out here. So that's why I say it's best to get the education you need instead of taking the easy route, as Henry was saying, and then you don't know how to get around your ways in life. Like they say, man, you got people out here to help you, but you need to be willing to work with them. They working with you, so work with them. You know what I'm saying? Because they working with you, but you're not working with them. They're gonna look at you. They're gonna be like, all right, I tried with him, I tried with her. We're gonna have to leave this alone. You are not trying to put no effort into this whatsoever. So therefore, we're gonna have to get you going up out of here. And when they leave, you can't turn nobody else. So guess what? You choose to be a high school dropout. All the things I mentioned could possibly happen. So yeah, man, my advice to you is to never drop out. The lesson, there's every lesson and every blessing. See, the lesson is there's no need for dropping out. Where you know you need this education, you know you need this, and you know you need that. There's no need for that. The blessing is we got schools for a reason. We have schools for a reason, and we're here to learn, we're here to listen, we're here to get educated. But also we there, you can make friends there too. But it's a great environment to have. So better to live it and enjoy it than to run away from your problems and have to face problems down the road later on in life. But yeah, man, that was our little spiel to y'all YouTube about, how not to be a high school dropout, man. So yeah, man, I'm gonna put my quote in there. But the playing field is level. The choice is yours to make. You can either make a good decision or a bad decision. It can either have a positive impact or a negative impact on you and the people around you. Marquez and Henry, y'all got anything to add to that?
YOLO, you only live once.
Yeah.
So
Right.
take advantage of that. Don't be scared to try new things, and don't be afraid to advocate or speak up.
Yeah, I feel like we were probably all at that point. Just remind yourself that, God,
Hey.
he ain't gonna never put you through something you can't handle. But there's never a day. That's why you got another day ahead of you, because that's your day to retry.
Yes, sir.
Even through the battles, you get to try again. I'd be surprised that he gives us second chances, but he does.
Even when you're at your lowest point, you can't choose to give up. You got to work towards that goal you want to reach.
They told. That's what they say.
I've been at low at my lowest point before, but work around it. Don't run away from the problems and face more issues down the road. But you got the gods up there to lead you on through whatever you got to go through. So yeah, man. Like I say, my advice to you is to never give up, never drop out. Keep on doing what you got to do to get through life. So yeah, man. Marquez, Henry, it was nice having you on the channel, man.
Thank you for having us on here.
Appreciate it.
So I already said my quote, man. So I'm gonna say it again. The playing field is level. The choice is yours to make. You need to make a good decision or a bad decision. It can have a positive impact or a negative impact on you and the people around you. That's all I have to say for y'all Zonda Man listeners and viewers for the day. I'll see y'all in the next go round. Peace
Bye,
out.
guys.
Peace.